Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of my family out there in the virtual world of Life is a Sacred Journey. It's Friday. It's Friday. And good morning, Betty, and good morning to all my friends out there. I'm going to look at it in a minute and then say good morning to you all personally. Our guest is not arrived yet, Rosalind Jones. She will be joining us, I'm hopeful, in a few minutes. Might be having some video problems or whatever, but we'll get started. I wanted to ask you to also share, start a watch party any Friday that you feel that the topic is something that you want to share with someone else. Start a party, but share it. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook Live, Blog Talk Radio. I mean, you can find Life is a Sacred Journey many, many places. So please do not hesitate to share it with someone. I did want to bring up this morning because I realize there's a great deal of pain and loss going on in the world today. And I was listening to something on the radio in the car this morning coming in, and they were talking about suicides being up. And so what I want to give you is the National Suicide Prevention. You know, last month, September, was National Suicide Prevention Month. But the phone number is 1-800-273-8255. Put it on a slip of paper, put it in your wallet, in your purse, in your back pocket, somewhere, that if you see someone that looks like they're in crisis, call and get them some help. We are all trying to make it through a time, for many of us, that we've never had a crisis in our lives. We're young people, and our parents have shielded us from all kinds of pain and sorrow and crisis. And these young people now, and we've been doing this for a long time, and they need sometimes an extra voice, and it's not their mom or their family, and sometimes clergy aren't the right people to talk to. We wish they all were, but sometimes they're not. So the Suicide Prevention Hotline, 1-800-273-8255. They also have a special place for veterans, disaster survivors. There's a lot of us out here. You know, I'm choking to death. My asthma is killing me because of the fires. There's a disaster line, LGBTQA plus loss survivors. They have a section for people who are deaf, hard of hearing, or have hearing loss. Please, let's stop people. Let's stop them. Right? If we can get to them when they're thinking about suicide, we may not prevent them from trying to kill themselves again, but we've stopped them one time, and then maybe somebody else will stop them the second time. We've got to walk with these people. We're humanity. And if COVID hasn't taught you anything else by now, we are humanity together. And if one person is suffering, we are all suffering. So please, please remember the suicide hotline. I also want to let you know that I have the privilege on Wednesday mornings to join a prayer circle that goes all the way to Cuba. This last week, I saw that Luis from Cuba, my brother from Cuba, joined in, and I wasn't even there. But and it's the Hope UMC 6 a.m. prayer circle led by my dear friend, Sister Teresa. Please, please join our group. If you need prayer, if you just need to be in an environment for a half hour where the word is being spoken and you can share your prayer concerns, and the prayer warriors will pray for you. All right, I just wanted to give you that. You know, I got to give you something every Friday morning. And good morning to Stuart and to Judy and to my friend Sandy. Good morning to all of you. It is always my honor to be with you. And then tomorrow, Saturday, I want to remind all of you in the California-Nevada Conference that I will be leading part 2 of Courageous Conversations from 10 to noon. Go to the website and find the link to join us. All right, my guest has joined us on the screen here, Rosalind Jones. Good morning, Rosalind. Can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. How are you?
How are you? It's
Good.
good to see you. Rosalind is a virtual caregiver. You know, we're learning new things about how to use our virtual technology to connect with families. We met Dawn, my good BFF Dawn. She's a virtual caregiver, but also goes in the home, and it looks like Roz does too, because I know that outfit. I know that outfit. But Rosalind Jones is a virtual caregiver coach. Let me read so that you can learn a little bit more, and then we will get into conversation. Thank you for coming on this morning, Rosalind.
No problem. No problem.
You. Is dedicated to taking a proactive approach to working with caregivers and their loved ones positively. You know, we're always talking about positively, and we're so negative. We think of everything from such a negative vein, and as I get older, don't come around me if you're going to be negative. Take it up a notch. And we want to impact people's quality of life, right? If we walk into their lives, we want to make sure that we are a good impact and we're doing no harm. She also serves as an advocate, a crisis counselor, so she knows what I was just talking about, suicide prevention, healthcare intervention. And the thing about Rosalind that I like, because her journey is similar to mine, we both started out in the corporate world. We both started out in the corporate world doing well too, okay? Doing well. We could buy that house with the picket fence in the corporate world, but we knew that wasn't our purpose. I read Rosalind's stuff, and she knew that wasn't her purpose. And she walked with a friend, and I'm going to have her tell the story. She walked with a friend. And you know, when you walk with your friends, and when you walk with the humanity that's around you, you are forever changed. So Rosalind and I are changed because of the walk we decided to take. And, and we didn't want to. I'm going to tell you, I didn't want to. I came fighting this fight. And now we're here. And virtually we're here with you. So Rosalind, my sister Rosalind Jones, welcome to Life is a Sacred Journey. Your story resonates with why we do Life is a Sacred Journey. And so I want you to share the story that I read about what started you on this journey, your walk with your friend, if you would, because I think it's an incredible story. Am I making you cry? Don't cry.
No.
Oh, okay.
I was just like, wow, you know, we have plans for ourselves, but then all of a sudden it only takes one moment, and my life changed between Sunday to Sunday in just a moment. And most time with caregiving, sometimes it's planned, and most times the people that I'm dealing with lately is that a friend of mine, her mother said, well, I want to move in with you. And she said, okay, Mom, when do you want to move in? She said, my bags are packed and I'm on the train.
Wow.
You know, she called me, what do? I said, well, you need to start cleaning the room. Yeah. But, you know, I took her through some other steps and gave her some information. But, I mean, it was shock. Yeah. It was you know, a shock to her routine and everything else. But let me back up to me. A friend of mine was in church, older lady, and she had no children. Husband died. Sister was in stage 4 cancer, could go any minute. She said, I have to go to the hospital. I want you to go with me. And I said, okay, well, what do we have? And I'm having a procedure. Part of my colon is blocked, intestines. I have to get it snip. Okay, we're going to go in for 2 days, in and out. I need for you to be there. I need for someone just to kind of be my advocate. I don't know why she picked me, but hey, you know, when the mother of the church speaks, you know, in our culture, you have to move. Okay, or she was going to call my mama. Yeah, so I had no choice.
Yeah. Sandy Blazer, who's watching this morning, is the mother of our church. And whenever she asks me to do something, I don't even question her. I just smile and say, yes, Sandy.
Yes, ma'am. And you don't talk back to them either.
No.
Mm-mm. So we went on to the hospital, and you know, the doctor says, you know, we're going to be in and out, Get there, sitting down, waiting. And, you know, time is ticking. I said, oh, she's probably in recovery. Didn't think anything of it. Well, when the doctor comes out and he still has on his beanie and he's just pulling this off, something's not right.
Yeah.
So he says, Roz, and she don't mind me miss her name. Her name is Rose. Mother Rose is, let's do emergency surgery. We need for you to sign this paperwork. I'm like, I don't have power of attorney, healthcare surrogate, living will, durable power. I don't have any of this. So whatever the hospital policy is, do it. My hands were tied. I had no power to help this woman. I was powerless. How many of us have that situation with a loved one and we don't have documentation? You could be the husband and the wife and they still ask you for documentation. They want proof that you're married, DNA. They want sometime before they'll make a decision.
Yeah.
And this person is in a life or death situation.
Yes.
Nonetheless, they go in and do the surgery. 2 days of care turned into 2 weeks of care. So I was going from work. I was working for a huge, oldest insurance companies in the country.
Hear you.
Doing well.
Yeah.
I was a technical writer. I was writing all of the information to process your Part A and your Part B claims. So
yeah, big.
Yeah. So that was important. So for 2 weeks, I took care of her. The nurses came in and said, "Oh, you're doing such a great job. Why don't you go down here to this little company? They're looking for sitters, and we need sitters here at the hospital." I said, "Oh, no, She said, "Well, try." Everybody kept coming and said, try. Director of nurses said, "Oh, you're just wonderful. You're just natural at this." And I'm looking at her like, really? Okay. Girl, please. Okay, so I went on down and checked it out. And I said, "How much are you paying?" She said, "Minimum wage." I said, "You're joking. To live somebody, clean them, flip them, flop them, change their clothes, y'all paying minimum wage?"
Yep.
And you got somebody's life in the hands?
Yep.
And y'all paying me. So I said, no, I'm not going to lie. I said, I said, what you pay that, I make that in 5 minutes.
Yep. And my friend Stuart Furman, who also is on the line, we're all advocates. Carolyn Brandt, everybody that has come to the show for forever. That's what we're always advocating for. We're not saying that people shouldn't care for people with heart, but if you're only making $10 an hour, and you're not getting the benefits or everything that you need to fulfill your life, you're going to get up every morning in the hummer-drummers, and then you're going to go in there and to work with seniors who need you to be happy and engaged. And you can't be happy and engaged because you're thinking about $10 and trying to feed your family. So again, until we make caregiving in our facilities equitable, so that the people who are doing the work, okay, you hear me, folks, doing the work, make a little bit more equitable income so that they can live like the people that have the offices with the names on the outside. I'm not mad at you, and I'm not pointing at all of you, but those of you who are living out that legacy, you know who you are. So that's a shout out. Thank you, Roz. To all of you assisted livings, board and cares, any place that is a congregate living place, make it equitable for people to live so that they don't have to come in there half-minded caring for our seniors, because our seniors need whole people.
And let me say this, it's hard for someone to take care of you if, okay, I'm making minimum wage, I still got to go to the food stamp, I still got to get TANF, I still got to go get milk for my baby, and I don't have enough money. I got more a month than money. Yeah. So your attention, your focus on caring is not on me. Your focus is on how am I going to make ends meet, or I have to go get another job. I paid my staff. And I said, Lord, if I ever got in this position, I would not pay them minimum wage. And they can tell you, I don't. Now, of course, I've had turnover. Right. I want people to do better. If you want to do better, I will push you out the door. I will push you and help you.
That's right.
Go to school or whatever. I don't have a problem with that. However, people can't figure out, well, why we have such a high turnover rate. If you paying minimum wage, in most of these facilities, memory care does not require you to have people that have a CNA, a home health care license, patient care tech for about. Most of these do not require that.
That's right. That's right.
You can pass out medicine under a nurse's supervision and not have a med tech license.
Scary. Scary.
And so they figure that they say you the huff and the puff. But I've been on some memory care units, and I told somebody the other day, I said, if I ever get to the point where I can't remember, give me the hospice cocktail and let me go.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to be sitting in a chair eating food what I have seen in some of the best facilities. I don't ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ever.
And you see, Roz, that's the choice that families have to now make. My friend Chris Bravo, who did a documentary, and that's exactly what he said when I interviewed him. He said he went into a facility, they had the beautiful chandeliers and the beautiful, looked like a hotel lobby. He said, but then he wondered to himself, what has this got to do with the care of my mom? And what has this got to do with how they're going to react to her? And I thought that was amazing, because as a marketing previous in my life before this, I was a marketing advertising person, right? So I know that we do that because we're marketing to the person that's making the choice and spending the money. We're not marketing to the person that has to live in that facility. And
you're marketing to the emotions. And the thing I don't understand, just like at this facility, I'm not going to call out the name, but if you need to call me, I'll tell you later.
Okay.
They painted the sidewalk, painted it all fancy. I know they spent about $10,000 on it. They put in all these electronics at the elevators to make announcements and all of that. But your turnover rate, you can't keep enough people to even clean the apartments.
Mm-hmm.
During COVID, nobody got their apartments clean, so we had to, and it's not a problem. Yeah. We had to mop, vacuum, wash,
Yeah.
And not only that, then we had to take it to the next level, because then, we had to come in with the bleach products, the 2-to-1, and, wipe all the high touch areas.
Yes.
I told myself, I'm surprised my client even has hair inside her nose, because when I tell you we have bleached, I mean, we're there. We're bleaching everything. It's amazing. I think her walker, the wheelchair, the shower rails, the toilet. Every time she goes, we spray and wipe.
Yeah.
When she goes outside, washing the hand. But we had to take it to another level.
Yes.
The state says that we're only supposed to do 20% cleaning. Well, that was out the door. We didn't have a choice, because they took all of the cleaning staff to clean the facility.
Got it.
See,
yeah.
So
yeah.
But what if you didn't have a caregiver?
Exactly.
That means your sheets weren't getting clean, the toilets weren't getting clean, and most of these people have balance problems. So who's going to bend over to clean the shower?
Right.
Who's going to bend over to mop the floor? If you
and
don't
the
have
system,
someone.
And the system. Was it last week? Yes. I had a good person that was on last week, and I looked at a video that she was interviewed in, and the person fell on the floor in their room, and the staff came in and walked back out, and then another staff person came in, and it was in one of the French provinces of Canada, and he spoke to her in French. I know a little bit of French, and he basically was scolding her for falling on the floor, and he walked out. I don't know. I don't understand. What role do you think that ageism plays in all of this, Roz? I mean, what is this thing about going into elderhood and ageism that makes us think that I don't know, the way we treat older people in this country is different than what I see in other countries and cultures. And what's going on? What happened to us?
Home training.
Speak to that.
Now, I can go raw, but I know we Christians and everything.
Yes, and we got.
Let's just say when the street light didn't come on, I would get my whipped all the way down, and it was kind of like a tag team.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother's used to do hair, so the lady hair she did, the lady would whip me, and then the next one would take me and keep walking me down, and whip my behind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like if someone got sick, we would go in their house and clean. The church would go in and clean. This is how I was raised.
Mm-hmm.
If someone was sick on the street, or if they didn't have family and everybody died, we'd take that person in.
Yes.
We don't teach that no more. We're trying to be your friend. We don't want you to be mad at me if I take your iPhone. And we had marbles and balls and a piece of chalk and a rope, and you make the best of it, and a kickball, and played hide and seek behind a tree.
That's true. That's so true. No, it's true. And it's values, right?
It's values. No one's taught values, how to respect their elders. If I find out that one of mine did that, one of my employees, trust me.
Yeah.
I had one that fell asleep on the job. She's gone, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm putting it out there. I'm just letting you know. I have problems like everybody else. And they say, yeah, we caught her asleep. And I said, well, when was this?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be transparent. She said, I got here early. So I came on up to the client's room and I went to sleep before the shift. I said, well, why didn't you stay in your car and set your alarm on your phone, baby, if you was tired?
Yeah. But again, it's the same thing that I feel like when we anything that we can't equalize, right? Anything that we can't equalize with ourselves, we have a tendency to disregard it and treat it less than what it is, right? And seniors are that. But some of my bestest friends are older people. I'm going on Monday and I'm hanging out with my good friend Lou. I don't even know how old Lou is, but I know she's over 80. And I love sitting with her. Sometimes I go and have tea with her, and the next thing I know, I look up, I'm supposed to only be there for a couple of hours, and the next thing I know, it's 3 p.m. I'm like, Lou, I got to go. But what it's about is the respect, Roz. It's the respect. It's about knowing that these people, no matter what their color, no matter who they are, as seniors, and particularly people living with dementia, really need us to help navigate them through this journey and not treat them like they're insane or I don't know. And even insane people don't, you know what I'm saying? People dealing with mental health don't deserve to be treated. Nobody deserves to be treated that way.
And the reason why a lot of our mental health and dementia patients in these facilities have problems is because, let me say this, they want a routine, and when they get accustomed to a caregiver and then you keep having every 30 days a high turnover, there's confusion. There's no consistency. And so you have to look at both sides. Yeah. We're not paying enough. We're not keeping the people, but you expect the resident to be there to be okay with everything.
Right.
You're not explaining the changes. You just have a new person come in, so you don't know why they're acting like this. Well, I don't know this person.
Right.
So it's not. So not only is it not fair to them, but whoever's in charge didn't take the wherewithal to, number one, contact the family, let them know we're having personnel changes, and number two, is sit down and talk to the resident and say, hey, so and so is gone. Nothing to do with you. They decided to move on.
Right.
So, if there's not consistency, then there's going to be a pushback from the patient.
Right. And rightfully so.
Yeah. And rightfully so. Because in the facilities, they try to keep them on as much routine. Routine is important. Mm-hmm. I know I'm going to get up. I know I'm going to bathe. I'm going to know, all of this. Just like with my client here. When I tell you this woman is sharper than a two-edged sword. CPA, I'm telling you, CPA mind numbers. She reminds me all the time, Rosalind, don't forget you got to do this. Your quarterly taxes are due. You got to pay your state. 91.
Wow. Wow.
She
Amazing.
just retired just 3 years ago.
I love it.
She still had her business
Wow.
and probably wouldn't
Wow. I
retire
want to
unless
be
her
her when
son.
I grow up.
Yeah, her son said, "Well, mom, it's time to retire." She wouldn't. I know she wouldn't have retired. I know she would because her mind is sharp.
Well, and that's what kept her mind sharp. That's what I try to tell people. Retirement, because that's what I'm trying to figure out. I want to retire. I definitely. I don't. I don't want to have to get up. It's that routine. I want to give up a little. But what I know this for a fact. I'm going to have to continue to be engaged in order to keep that level of just being in the world and, hanging out with young people, hanging out with older people, because I really believe this, Roz, and you can tell me your philosophy on it, that when you live a diverse life with all kinds of people in it, all ages in it, that there is something that happens to your inner spirit that is you come alive. You're alive because you're around life all the time. And it doesn't necessarily mean babies, and it means all life. Do you see that yourself?
I do. I
Yeah.
do. And when I decided to get into this, at first, I'm like, no, Rosalind, you're not. But then I said, you know what? The first time when I opened up the business, I did it wrong. So I came back and I did it again and did it right the second time. And I kept saying, I'm gonna go back to corporate. I'm gonna go back to corporate. They call me every week. I get an email. Why don't you come back? I
Mm-hmm.
can't.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even see myself sitting behind a desk like I used to. And I couldn't figure out why I didn't like sitting behind a desk because that wasn't for me. But being in the medical part was the basis, the foundation for me to understand Part A and Part B Medicare, Medicaid, so
Mm-hmm.
that when I started taking care of people, I knew the language, I understood the policies and procedures, I knew the one, after you get out the hospital, you have so many days of rehab. All of that was important, but along with that I got the training to take care of them in their home. I went on and
Yeah.
did that,
Yes.
and I tell people, I say, sometimes it's not about the money.
Right.
It's about being in a position and in a ministry.
Yep.
Because I tell people, I said, whoever you believe in, you are always helping and reaching back and helping somebody, taking care of somebody. And
Yep.
this is in my little small space here in Jacksonville, Florida, this is what I'm supposed to do in
Mm-hmm.
this little small space. Now, I do have virtual clients, but the hands-on,
Yeah.
you know, yes, I'm going to be giving up some of that because there's some other things I'm going to be doing, and I know my clients are going to have a stroke. I already know. Already know. I already know. And see, this one right here, I know I can't leave her because she'll put the Hong
But you
Kong
know
Fooey
what?
on
You're
me.
combining both things, doing it
Yeah,
virtually as well as keeping, doing the hands-on. It also
right.
helps with the virtual because then your advice is from real life experience instead of just anecdotal, which is fine. But I always know the real life experience for families is so important.
It is, and just like every week I take a COVID test, and people like, oh my God, you're standing in line too. When I first started a couple of months ago, when it was really at its height, we
Hmm.
were in line for 3 hours. I would be
Oh,
in line at 6 o'clock in the morning
oh my!
to take a test at 9.
Oh, wow! Wow!
And now, because people have gotten so immune and they don't, they think it's not as uh, deadly, they don't take the test. And so now they're starting to close down some of the facilities, which is going to impact healthcare workers.
Yes.
Because if we had to pay for that every week, because most
We're
of the
having
places
to
here,
take ours every 2 weeks in our facilities. In our adult day healthcare here at ASEB, every 2 weeks, and I am okay with it because my social bubble is very small. But at the end
right,
of the day, I now know I'm safe. So like when I go to have tea with Lou, I will be wearing my mask. Everybody, trust me. But at the end of the day, there you go. At the end of the day, you keep that social bubble small, you wear the mask, you wash your hands, and then you're keeping a whole bunch of people safe. And that's what, Roz, what you just said to me is so important, because that's how I started thinking these facilities were getting COVID in their buildings. One, the people are working in more than one place because they have to, because of what we talked about in the beginning of the half hour.
Exactly.
So yeah, and then they're breaking the social bubble because they don't believe it. And then they're not wearing, like people, the mask goes over your nose and your mouth, not down here.
On here.
Or
Please
here. Okay, because I saw somebody the other day. He had it down here. I was like, no. So wear your mask right. But
and hand sanitizer.
And hand sanitize.
And I tell people, if you're in a place where you can't, this is only when you don't have soap.
Okay.
If there's soap, because this has made some people lazy.
Yes.
They won't wash their hands.
Yes.
See, and you're only supposed to use this maybe 3 times, 4 times max, and then wash your hands. Not use this all day because it's not taking care of the cooties and the germs.
Right. Thank you, Roz. Thank you for that. So you heard that, my friends. And I tell people this all the time. I wash my hands before I leave the house. Then when I go in my favorite coffee shop, I don't know if this is against the law, but I don't care. When I go to Dunkin' Donuts and get my coffee, they have a pump kiosk right there. So I pump there because their door, I have to touch the door. And then when I get in the car, I sanitize again. And then I have, there you go. Oh, what is that, Roz?
You don't have one of these?
No, tell us. What is that?
You open the door with these. You don't have to touch a door.
Oh my God.
You hook this to open the doors.
So it's a door opener hooky thing.
Yes.
What's it called?
Door opener hooky thing. I can't remember, but it was gifted to me, and I don't open doors.
Okay.
You hook that and you pull it.
Oh, that's such a great idea. Okay, Roz is my new BFF from Jacksonville, Florida. I got a love for her because my dad was born in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
And but now I got real mad love for her. You see this thing here? Take a picture. Get your cell phone. Take a picture, because you can go on Amazon. You can find this. I'm gonna find me one of them. And does it have a name on it, Roz?
It's called My Tagalongs, and I know my girlfriend got this from DSW, the shoe place.
Okay.
Because I did ask her. She said it came in a pack of 2.
Okay.
And I said I don't need nothing fancy. I think one was black and one was a rose gold. I don't want the rose gold. Just give me the black. I don't have to be all foo-foo.
No.
I told her to take the foo-foo one. So she gave this to me when I went to go visit her, and this is what I used to open the doors.
I love that. Okay, so My Tagalongs. If you find it, share it on Life is a Sacred Journey, so other people who are watchers and listeners can find it as well. I love all my friends that come to Life is a Sacred Journey. They drop their wisdom, like dropping the mic. Is my mic droppable? Oh, no, it's not. Okay. They drop the mic and they teach us new things. And that's what life is all about. And that's what makes life fun. And I bet you that little My Tagalong thing does not cost a lot of money. I bet you.
I don't think it did, but I think they have it at the gas stations. There's a gas station here. I saw it a while, but it was too high. It was like $30 at gas station. That was ridiculous. But I think she paid like $10 for 2.
Yeah.
At DSW.
Yeah. All right, Sandy.
And she sent all of us this when COVID first kicked off. That's the only reason why I got it. All of us are in the medical. All of us are medical. So.
Yeah, because you're all medical. So Sandy Blazer, I know you're out there. You're the one that does all the research, and then you can hand sanitize it, spray it with some.
But Lysol.
Oh, let me ask you about that, Roz. Do you guys have Lysol down in Jacksonville? Because we can't find it here.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys got it. Okay, yeah.
God. We'll see what they do here is for us. On Thursdays and Saturdays, they allow essential personnel to come into the stores early, which is the public supermarkets.
Oh.
So so we have special privileges. We go in along with the elderly, and we can get our stuff. So we're able to get Lysol,
Yeah,
Clorox wipes, the Lysol wipes, the anti-spray. If you can see back there, we have it
I see
all.
it. I see it. Yep, yep.
So we have Clorox spray. Each one of my employees, you know, I asked them to keep Lysol with them and a bottle of Clorox spray, Clorox wipes in their
Okay,
cars,
okay.
and hand sanitizer. told them if you can't get it, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
And because when everything kicked off, I bought a big gallon before, a couple of
Okay.
gallons, and we,
That's
you know,
what we did too, and then just kept putting it in
and
as.
then yeah, so I bought 5 gallons. So if they need it, I just pump it in. I said keep your container. You know,
Yeah.
we carry gloves in the in our bags and stuff.
As
So
you.
yeah,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. And
yeah,
you have
we
them,
have
and that what? Oh, there you go.
wipes.
Yep. Yep.
So we carry everything. We have everything with us, everything that we need. I wanted to show you what my little gloves, but maybe I don't have them in the wrong thing. But anyway, we keep gloves in a Ziploc bag
Mm-hmm.
so
Nice.
that Oh no, I wanted to show y'all, but anyway,
That's all
we
right.
have
You'll come
gloves.
back. We'll have you back so that you can show us. And so, have you been able to keep the folks free of COVID in your care, and you haven't had any incidents? Oh, that's great. That's great.
Nobody,
Great.
none of my employees. I tell the Lord, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
None of them contracted COVID here
Right.
or at home.
Right. Right. That's
So,
so good.
and that's because I made them go and test every week, and I also told them this: when you go home,
Mhm.
have a set of clothes either at the door or in the garage. And I said, when you come and spray your feet with Lysol, spray the bottom of your shoes with Lysol, turn them up, and let them dry at the door.
Yeah, that's
Don't
what
go
I
any
do.
further.
Yeah. I leave everything in the garage, for that, and it stays out there until I'm ready to wear it again. Which I made a pact this 2020. I don't know if I've told everybody yet, but I'm wearing all my clothes and in the closet, and anything that I don't like or doesn't fit me properly, there's a bag in the garage that it's going in, because I have decided I'm not buying any new clothes because I don't wear everything. So if I'm not wearing it and I don't wear it in 2020 and it's not vintage, it's out of here.
And say, I used to take my uniforms to the dry cleaners, and I even stopped that because I didn't know if anybody there would have gotten COVID, if the clothes that were coming in had what my clothes going to be mixed in. So
Yep. And it's hard. It's hard to know because the science is changing all the time. And that's what I was telling somebody the other day as a healthcare executive. My biggest worry is I don't want anyone to get COVID under my watch in my program. And so, I'm being super vigilant about everything, including my own stuff. So it's people don't understand that, though, and the stress that puts upon you as the person, because you have those people's lives in your hands. They think it's just, oh well, that's great, blah blah blah, and it's like, no, because if they would go home and get diagnosed and die, Micheal Pope would never be the same again. So that's not happening. That's not happening. If they get it outside of here, that's not my problem.
That's fine. That's not my problem.
That's not something I can do anything about. I pray that people don't get it, but I don't want people to get sick here. So we had to tell a lady, and she got mad because she wanted to break the program's social bubble, and we told her, no, you cannot come in. You haven't been here since March, and then you want to take public transportation to come here. I can't. And she's mad at me, but I don't know. It's okay. The nice thing about being over 60, it doesn't matter anymore. I'm sorry. It really doesn't matter when people are mad at me unless I've done something really vile and whatever, and then just tell me and I will certainly apologize. But when you're mad at me for doing the right thing at my age, I've lived long enough now to know it's okay, and I'm all right with it.
But you also want to know too, sometimes people think because things, COVID is not, we don't have all the peaks and, the high concentration like we used to. We can kind of back off. I'm gonna give you an example because, I don't mind telling you about how,
Yeah.
things don't go right in the business.
Yeah.
One of the employees called and said, I can't get in. And I said, okay, why? She said, because my COVID test expired. And I said, well, what was the rule that I told you about taking the test? She said, Ms. Rosalind, you said every 4 days. I said, so obviously you didn't take it every 4 days or you wouldn't be in this predicament. So she said, what do? I said, you go home. If they tell you you can't come in, you go home and I'm going to pull you off of the schedule for 2 weeks. Oh my God, I got to work. And I said, well, when you don't follow rules, it comes with accountability. Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
If you don't follow the rules with COVID, wear the mask, do your social distancing. If you are asymptomatic, go to the store early in the morning when they first open up. And they have special times for seniors, and they have special times for people like me.
Yeah.
Go at those times. Or if you can't go, order it and have the people come in from Uber and drop it off at the door.
Yes, you can do that. I did that.
You can do that. Yeah. Or if you have a neighbor you know that's old, step out and say, hey, I'm going to the grocery store. What do you need? What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
What happened to I'm my brother's keeper? What happened to that?
I don't know.
What happened? Have we gotten so selfish? Just like with my client, why would I tell her daughter to bring the food in and I'm going to the grocery store? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's dumb. That's selfish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to the store. I get her yogurt. I get her fresh fruit. We do those things.
Yes. Yes. And we do those things for each other because, like the slogan, you can go back and look, we all said, oh, we're all in this together. And I said early on at Life is a Sacred Journey, we're big on slogans and we'll pick that slogan up in a minute, but have no understanding about the meaning behind it and what it means to be all in it together. And what you're talking about, Rosalind Jones, everything we've talked about in our time, because our time is up. And I know we'll have to do it again. But Rosalind, before we, I love you, sis. I love you. Share with the folks that are out there that are caregivers that may be wanting some virtual help, how they get a hold of you, because I know our podcast goes everywhere. And then if they're local, because, Carolyn Brent and some of my friends that are down there in Florida, how do they find you in that area so that we can get the word out about Rosalind Jones?
Well, I have a Facebook page, Jacksonville's Best Caregivers.
Okay.
I also have a YouTube page, Jacksonville's Best Caregivers.
Okay.
So make sure you get on YouTube. And then also, too, I have a calendar where you can get on. It's called it's at bit.ly/speak with Roz.
Oh, okay.
bit.ly. I'll put it in the feed.
Okay.
If I can get to the comments here.
And if not, Felicia will put it in too. So say it again.
Yeah, bit.ly.
Okay.
/ speak with Roz, ROZ. Speak with Roz. And that'll take you to my calendar, and you can get a 30-minute free talk time with me because by law, I have to give you 30 minutes of my time.
Oh, okay.
But at 30 minutes and 1 second, we start paying, okay?
And see, you're honest. But I like that idea, though, that that you're allowed to do, the law says that, because a lot of times, folks, again, in any field, we got folks that are taking advantage of folks. And so we need to have safety nets for people, and that's a good safety net. And after I've read everything about you, Rosalind, I know that your primary goal, is to live out a mission and ministry of caring for those who are in need. And so I just thank you so much for your work. It was a pleasure and honor looking at you on YouTube and look, because Felicia does all the hard work. I get the fun stuff. I go and I read about people. It's like, oh, look at, she's like me, yay. But Rosalind Jones, thank you so much for hearing your friend. That's the first, the first thing you've heard your God, you heard your master, and then you heard your friend's need to need help. and you stood and you walked with that person. You were intentional with that person. And I just want to thank you for being an example of what it means to be, in our faith, we call it discipleship. But, you know, in our secular world and the business that we're in, for being a great advocate, for being, you know, a person that really gets that we're in this together, and for being your brother's keeper. So thank you so much. And thank you for coming to Life is a Sacred Journey. I just think that's amazing that you said yes.
I just want to tell people two things.
Please.
If someone asks you to be the caregiver and you're not ready, say no. Don't do it. Please say no. Say, I'm not ready. I don't think I can handle it. Let's make other plans. Or let's get a private caregiver. Please. Number two, if you decide to be a caregiver, get your documentation in order. Advance directives. You know, if you need that information and you don't have the money to do it, I'll send Michelle the information where you can get it free or at a nominal fee.
Okay.
But please don't be like Aretha Franklin and is still in probate after 2 years with a 66-year-old son in a nursing facility, and he's a ward of the state. Yeah. Please don't.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Rosalind. Yeah, that's important. You know, I try to bring up those things with folks. Prepare for your long-term care. You know, the information's out there. Roz is going to send us some information. We'll make sure we get it out to you. We'll have Roz back because, again, you know, we like to bring people back so that we can keep the story going. And so, Roz, please stay safe and take care of yourself and those that you love. And it is such an honor to know you. And my BFF list keeps getting longer and longer. And then the other thing is, Roz, so you have to also, this is a Life is a Sacred Journey new thing. Yes. Life is a sacred journey. When the COVID-19 goes away, because it will, and we will move into another time, one of the things that Felicia and I have decided to do, we're going to take Life is a Sacred Journey on the road. And so that means I will be seeing you in Jacksonville, Florida at some point. Plus I'll get to go visit where my dad grew up. So it is my honor and privilege, Life is a Sacred Journey, folks, to introduce you to Rosalind Jones, Jacksonville's best caregivers. She is a virtual caregiver who can provide you all kinds of information. The first 30 minutes is free. The 1 second after the 30 minute, you also have to pay, but I'm sure she can work with you with wherever you are. This is not a woman that's going to turn you away, okay? So just know if you need help, this is another source that Life is a Sacred Journey has provided you. Also, again, the National Suicide Prevention number is 1-800-273-8255. Please, if you're out there or if you know somebody that needs help, don't watch people suffer. Help them. Help them. And you know what? You're going to feel so much better after. And then once you help one person, I promise you, they won't be the last person you help because you're going to have the desire to do that. But we got to stop watching people suffer. That's my soapbox. Be the change you want to be in the world and be at peace. I see your finger, Rosalind. You got one more thing you want to say to the folks?
I was just giving you the church finger that I agree. And I'm officially dismissed on that one because you hit
it. I love that. That's the church finger that she agrees. I'm going to start using that. I didn't know that. She's taught me 2 things, if not more, this morning. But those are the 2 things I'm going to remember. The church finger and the key. Rosalind Jones, you are a blessing to the world and a blessing to Life is a Sacred Journey. I pray that you will come back and join us again.
I will.
And to all of you out there, have a wonderful weekend. Wear your mask. Be careful with the smoke. It is bad because I'm having breathing problems. I'm using my puffer more than I ever have in the last 5 years. So please take care of yourself. And life is a sacred journey and you only get to live it once. So do your best. Okay. Bye-bye.